Well, hi guys, welcome back to MK Sportscars. We're back in the workshop this week. Lots of things going on. First thing, the sun's shining, so that means the cars are getting out there on the roads and on the track, so that's good. But also that means they get dirty occasionally, so that leads me into this. So I'm going to say a big thanks to Mint Detail. They've sent us a nice little array of cleaning products, really. We've been using them, and we'll show you a bit further on in the video of how we use them, what was best, etc. But the good thing is we're going to be giving a giveaway on these, so if you stay tuned on that, you'll get to see about what they do, what they had, what really worked for us, and you get to win that in a competition. So from there we're going to move on to a car though. Right, well, first up, not any old car, it's our RX5 Turbo demo car. Now, you've been seeing a lot of things. We spoke about, did we blow the engine up and do all everything else? Well, the other good news is it's been back on the dyno, down to the guys with Rich at RLM Racing. He was actually blown away. I wish I could have had a video camera. He was blown away how fast this thing is. Now, it's making on low boost 280 horsepower, and we've got a little go-to button in here, which is at the press of a button just down in here, and Lewis will give you that will ignite and give you 340 horsepower and 280 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot. Now, we've already had a couple of people go in this, so hashtag Neville, you've been out in it, he's a local customer who's built an RX5. Put down in the comments below if you think it was fast. I know it's fast, it is rapid, this thing. So if you want to know more about the RX5 Turbo range or the RX5 in general, you can come down here. If you want a little test drive in this particular car, we can organise that for you. But basic specs was stock engine, less the bottom end. We put forged rods in it. It's got 640 injectors. It's got our manifold and link pipe, and it's got a TD04 19T, so it's like a hybrid turbo. It's got a new style wintercoat oil, we've done it, and a 25-row oil cooler mounted on there, and some new ignition leads and a few other little bits that we did to tidy it up. And obviously it's running the motorsport electronics, as we always do, ECU 360 on this particular one. Not much else really. That's delivering stonking power from, essentially, it's done about 100,000 miles. Now, we did tear into it a little bit, new seals, new gaskets, and Joseph did a great job of getting that car, and we've done another few things, making it so it can breathe better and things like that, detailed and gone for the engine, but generally not much more than that really. So it's very, very affordable and very, very achievable to get big horsepower out of these. Now, you think 340, that's not much, that's smart. You've got to remember, guys, it's only, for those of you who don't know, it's only about 560, 570 kilos, these cars. So it's big horsepower per tonne, but it's the more important figure is the torque. 280 foot-pounds is quite a lot. Considering we love a Hayabusa, they kick out about 110, 120, so gives you the idea of where they're sticking at. But we're going to do a bit more detailed review on this particular car. We'll get some onboard, the driving, some cameras, some theatre, some noise, some whoosh, some bangs, all on this one. So stay tuned for that one for next time. Not on this particular one, but on the next video, keep an eye out for the RX5 Turbo demo. Right, next up here is the Hayabusa powered car, Sport 200 base car, which had the Gen 3 booster engine in it. I think we showed you a couple of weeks ago the paint. We've started to put it on the vehicle now. We've got it all prepped over here. It's all been a bit more detailed. So it's in this Porsche Riviera blue. And as soon as we started bolting a bit of black on, we thought it really looks smart, actually. I quite like it. It's weird when it looks on its own. You sort of look at it and think, God, that's a bright blue. But as soon as you put the satin blacks together with it, really starts to take shape. So we've got side panels all fitted now, rear arch fitted, rear tub, and the fuel filler cap all in. We are waiting on a wiring loom on this particular car at this moment in time. That's why there's sort of nothing's going further in this section. But fuel cap, so we'll continue with the bodywork. fitting all of that, and we'll continue with the rear lights. But centre section's been done, handbrake cables, handbrake levers have been put in, fuel, the whole back end's pretty much buttered up other than the fog light, reverse light and number plate light to be wired in, but everything else is pretty much buttoned up. And just making sure, silly little things like we do here, we use double loop cable ties just to hold the handbrake cables in place. It just keeps it neat, tidy to IVA spec. You don't want anything rubbing or abrasive anywhere to wear on your chassis or touch or wear down your cables, so make sure you give them a nice bit of strength to hold them in place. But yeah, it's a really nice colour, this, really smart, quite like it. You put the scuttle on, she'll look really different then. She just pops on, which has all been trimmed off. Looks really smart. Quite like it really. Not seen one in Porsche Riviera before, but Riviera Blue before. Something new to us being painted, and it's all trimmed and fitted. But yeah, next thing was we've bolted on. Yeah, we've done the cooling packs on. So we've got the big 70mm radiator and the big 34-row oil cooler in there. With 120 watt fan, so it's the bigger fan on this one because it is going abroad, so we know it's going to need it to keep it cool. We just started on with the plumbing. So just under here we've got the electric water pump. It's a little Bosch type one under here, and this feeds on because on the Gen 3 we can't run the water pump on them, we have to run the electric water pump on them. Same as the gear linkage goes the wrong way. It's a different way, should I say, to the Gen 2. So a little electric water pump in here, so we do top hose, bottom hose, and it's fed to the header tank via here with a T in line then, and then it's just a return, which is a nice short return from the radiator, just a couple of jubilees to bolt onto there. Plumbing's really simple. I mean, it couldn't be any easier to plumb a car up. It's right up there with simple, and that's how we like it, because there's less things to go wrong as well. Less possibility of leaks, less joins. It's all really nice and clean. So yeah, just waiting on the loom for the Gen 3 still, and then we can get that plugged in, and we'll do the auxiliaries. We've got all the wing stays in. We'll be bonding on the wing neck and next, and they're going to be black to complement the rest of the car. So yeah, looking super clean and tidy. And I've got to say, would I have this colour? I think originally I thought, no, I don't know if I would, but now with the black, it's a colour I really like. Right, cars for sales section, and we've sold a few actually. One of them's already gone. Mac one's already sold. The CBR 1000, that's also sold now. Deposit's been taken on this. It's gone through this week. We've gone through and just checked it all over and MOT'd the vehicle this week. So this is going to be heading off to its owner. Great little car, 1000 RR engine, which I always like to show you the engine bays actually. Engine bays, it's all about the engine bay. You've probably seen it 10 times for people who watch us regularly, but you know, this is a little 1000 RR, so it's a 2009 era engine, this particular one. Really clean and tidy under here. There is actually a build video on this particular one, so if you want to know how a CBR one goes on and you're just tuning in now, there is a full build log on this particular car online. So we factory built this car nearly 4 years ago, coming up in October. I think it's 4 years ago in October, so you can keep an eye out for that, have a look, see how these things go together. Right, next up we've had in the workshop this little Westfield game. We'll do the obligatory look at the engine bay. It's a little Z-Tech car, a little black top with a live axle on it, believe it or not, which is the early ones, the SE as they would call them, not the SEI for the wide body. And oh, it's a little bit tricky to get off. They're quite heavy as well actually. Got a little Z-Tech black top. Basically it's in for MOT stuff and a little service. So it's had new ignition leads, spark plugs, new oil and filters, and a gearbox oil change. Some other little bits as well, which had some binding brakes which we're just sorting out, little things like that, because it's got drums on the rear, which is old technology, but it does work. But there's some binding on the drums, so we're just going to put that in the lathe and just machine that down. We have to stop it binding on that corner it was. Very different, but the other thing we notice on this, so if you ever got a live axle car, you just got to make sure when it's on full droop that nothing's hitting, because it was actually hitting the chassis, and the prop shaft was literally, if he'd ever gone over, say Cadwell Park over the mountain and got some air, it would have lifted down and the prop shaft would have been whacking on the chassis. So we've actually put some bump stops in there. A lot of the Escort guys years ago used to use straps. They used to strap the axle up at the back because it's a one solid beam. I'd love to be able to show you that, but it's all sealed under here. It's one solid beam. As a live axle is, it drops down as a whole one unit. So yeah, this has been a nice little car actually. It drives really sweetly. It's a blacktop Z-Tech on carbs. But yeah, nice little sweet little engine, and get the MOT done, and he'll be able to enjoy some more time out in the seat in it as well. So actually it's quite, believe it or not, it's not that heavy a car. I was quite surprised. Normally car engines and that, it rolls really well. It's actually quite light. I've not had it on the scales, but I'm probably going to guess it's definitely sub 600. So yeah, it's not a heavy car as well. But yeah, nice little project for him, and he's just been sort of fiddling and fettling with it over the last year. It was in here last year to have some other jobs, so yeah, get him ready, get the MOT and get him out on the road. Right, next up is this, while we're outside, is this Dax Rush Hayabusa Turbo. Been with us a few weeks now while we've been doing some bits to it, and we've just been doing the final bits of road tests ready to get it back to its owner. So we've been doing some changes, cosmetically as well as under the bonnet. So first thing was, it came in, it didn't have anything here. We put this bonnet scoop on. It's got a big plenum that was under there, made it look a bit ugly, so we've got a nice bonnet scoop on, make it look nice. The side panels were an alley affair, which looked a bit rubbish is the owner's choice of words, I think it was. So it's got some nice GRP black ones that we've cut and modified and fitted. So basically it gives ties it together. I think the customer, we've been trying to get it wrapped or painted for him, but he's going to get that done, I think, back in where he lives now, just to tie all the colour scheme in there with a black and orange. So looking a little bit sharper now with a bonnet scoop and everything else, but we've got to do the standard, have a look under the to the bonnet. Now, even the turbo stuff, it's bonkers fast. It's 380 brake horsepower, doesn't weigh probably much more than just under 600 kilos again. And what we've done is sort of, this was all bare alley under here, so we sort of black packed it really. All the plenum was bare aluminium. We've dropped these down with some angular on the throttle bodies to get it under the bonnet and clear all of that, because this was plenum was sticking up here actually when it came in, right up there, so sticking right out like a sore thumb. So that's been done. Changed it all to black hoses, blacked all the intercoolers, blacked the interior panelling, all the bulkhead that was bare aluminium, all the catch tank, everything was bare aluminium, blacked it all off. New lines, new fuel line in there that's gone in, new coolant lines everywhere, just to keep it nice detailed. New throttle cable, because this was having a problem sticking, and then we made all these, got these supports we've made to hold and clamp the plenum in place. These are left hand and right fence, so you can tighten them up and pull all of this in. So under boost, this will not come off now, it's nice and secure, which was the important thing. And then new clips in place just to hold in the new rubbers where we had to do the joins. Pretty much that's it really under here, apart from detailing the engine a little bit more and cleaning it up. It's transformed it under here. It looks so much nicer when it's blacked out rather than bare aluminium that goes all corrosive. That's the difference between the two. But yeah, turbo booster car, mental fast, lovely little car. We're just doing a couple more final road tests on it, make sure she's good to go, and we get back to the owner, we can start enjoying the summer. Another busy workshop. What an amazing weather we're having to enjoy these fabulous little sports cars. We're extremely lucky. But also don't forget about keeping it clean, and I got to say that there's lots of good things, and Lewis and that did a good job of fitting it all, but this one for me, this final touch detail spray, I've got to say, look how much we've used of it. Loads of it, because it is absolutely spot on. That works for me really well, and it smells, believe it or not, amazing. It smells like you want to eat your car. It smells that good. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, then keep an eye out for the competition. You get to win some of these amazing products. That's it for this week, guys. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and we will catch you next week.